True Omegle chat room horror story, and it was uploaded by Horror Shorts Party. Now this was sent to us by Chris Samurai. What's going on, my brother? And he said this one kept me up at night, so it better be scary, Chris. By the way, did you see the 7 mil special, Chris? The Cooking with Kenshin yesterday? A lot of work went into that video, Chris. Why don't you go ahead and watch that if you didn't? And if you did, go ahead and slice that like button on this video. I appreciate you, Chris. Horror Shorts Party. True Omegle chat room horror story.
This story happened to me a couple years ago. It happened on a Saturday night. I was typing on a school report for my English class and was pretty worn out from the tedious amount of thinking that transpired throughout the paper.
Okay.
I decided to take a break and procrastinate a little bit, maybe watch a couple of YouTube videos.
Hold on. Let me rewind that. What was he watching? Right there. Did you wash your hands, mister? Oh, Jimmy. What did I do about not washing your hands? Yo, that's what's up, man. We got a samurai right here.
I needed to take some stress off my mind, but didn't really have anyone to vent or talk to. This gave me the idea to visit a chat room called Omegle.
Bad idea.
For those of you who don't know what Omegle is, it's a chat room where you can literally video chat with random strangers online through your computer webcam. Needless to say, Omegle definitely helped with my social skills growing up as a child, so I was always active on it.
Wow.
I remember this one particular night. I was having trouble meeting new people. This left me a little frustrated, to say the least, but that's the kind of thing to expect when you're on these kind of chat sites. That's when I stumbled upon this one guy. He looked to be
I'm clicking next.
Around the same age group as myself, and seemed like a pretty harmless individual. I decided to say hi. He didn't say anything back, he just typed the word hi in the chat box.
Oh, no microphone.
I found it kind of weird that he would go through the effort of typing out hi as opposed to just saying hi verbally. He then waved at me and began typing something else.
Might not have a microphone.
He introduced himself in the chat box saying, "My name is Daniel, what's your name?" I verbally said, "My name is James, how are you?" He then stares at the camera and doesn't say a word to me, completely dismissing the fact that I just asked him a question.
Hello?
At this point, I was convinced that this had to be some sort of pre-recorded video and that someone was just trolling me. That's when he began typing in the chat box again, saying, "I'm deaf. Please type in the chat box unless..."
Oh, I feel bad now. I'm like, hello? Open your ears, you freaking moron.
You know, sign language. I honestly felt stupid and immediately typed, "No worries, my name is James," and gave a quick thumbs up as an act of kind gesture. He immediately typed back saying, "Nice to meet you, James," and gave me a thumbs up as well.
All right.
He then typed something else that left me dumbfounded. He said, "I will use my whiteboard to chat with you going forward, because my hands will be occupied."
Huh?
I was confused by what he meant by that, so I typed, "What do you mean by your hands being occupied?" He then starts writing on a whiteboard and raises it up on the screen, which read, "Want to play a game?"
No, I'm going...
I typed, "Sure, what game you want to play?" What he did next is something I will never forget to this day. He held a revolver up with one hand and the whiteboard up with the other hand, saying, "Let's play Russian roulette." I was honestly quite creeped out by this guy and was contemplating on clicking the stop option to skip this weirdo. That's when he wrote another message on the whiteboard saying, "1 of 6. I was confused by what 1 of 6
rounds, idiot!
He then took the revolver, slipped one bullet inside the cylinder, and began spinning it with his other hand. I now knew what he meant by 1 of 6. It seemed like the guy was about to demonstrate an act of Russian roulette with one bullet in the cylinder of 6. He then puts the revolver against his head.
Oh!
I began typing, "What are you doing? Please stop this." The guy then smiles disturbingly on the camera and pulls the trigger. Nothing happened. He starts laughing hysterically like a psycho. I was honestly disturbed, but also skeptical that the gun was real, so I typed, "Is that even real?" He then points the revolver at the wall and begins to repeatedly press the trigger until the shot was fired. I was completely blown away by what I was seeing and typed, "Dude, you could have died!" That's when the guy raised the whiteboard to the screen again.
Yo, this is good. I just had to pause like...
Showing the message, 5 of 6.
What?
I frantically started typing, "Don't do it," repeatedly in the chat box, desperately trying to get his attention. He then began loading the revolver with 5 bullets while I gestured no by waving my hands back and forth like a lunatic.
He's dead.
I knew the odds of him surviving this time were slim to none. He then raises the revolver against his head once again and begins to disturbingly smile, with tears running down his face. He began mumbling the words, "It was nice meeting you, James." I immediately slammed my laptop shut as I hear a gunshot a split second before the laptop was fully closed. I was left baffled on my computer desk. I hadn't a clue what to do. I stupidly opened my laptop with my eyes closed. I pressed my hand against the screen where the video chat was located. I opened my eyes, and through the cracks of my fingers, I can see blood displayed everywhere on his screen. I immediately click the exit button on the Google Chrome tab and call it a night. To this day, I'm still skeptical about what I saw that night. I haven't reported anything to the police, nor have I reported anything to Omegle. I'm not sure if that was the wisest decision, but I hope I never encounter anyone like that again.
Horror shorts party? That was incredible. He said 5 of 6? Sucker, can you do math? 5 of 6, what is that, like an 83%? Let me check that real quick. Hey Siri, what's 5 divided by 6?
5 divided by 6 is about 0.8333.
Did I just off the top of my head that? Thanks, baby.
No problem.
See, you jealous of the relationship me and my phone got. Anyways, he had a 17% chance of walking out of that. I'm not making no bet will I only get a 17% chance. This one is called True Dark Web Horror Story, and it was uploaded by Horror Shorts Party. What's up? How you doing? Now, this was sent to us by your baby Bree, and this is the 2nd week in a row someone named Bree sent in a story. To continue where I left off last week, I think Bree is a very pretty name. I don't meet a lot of Brees though. Like in real life, I just hit my mic. Y'all ever wonder what it sounds like if I just slap my mic? All right, I'm about to slap you. Okay, hold up. Oh. Sorry, I could be very tangential sometimes. Bree said, "Me and my boyfriend CJ watch you all the time. Shout out to Bree. Shout out to CJ. Let's get it popping." These intros, they just put you in a creepy oh my gosh.
Story happened to me on a Thursday night when I was home alone in my apartment complex.
Bet.
I live with my roommate Josh, who was usually out with his girlfriend, so that gave me the luxury of having the place to myself.
Freaking Josh.
I was video chatting with 3 classmates
Simp.
of mine on Facebook Messenger. Their names were Eric, Craig, and Cindy. This was my first interaction with them as our professor selected us to be in a group project together.
Okay.
Throughout the night, we brainstormed ideas while getting more acquainted with one another. This is when the story gets a bit weird.
How?
Eric spontaneously asked the group chat, "Hey guys, want to see something cool?"
No.
What is it?
"Getting an A+ in this project would be cool." "Sure, man, what's up?"
That's
Eric
me.
sends the group chat a photo. I click the chat icon and see a disturbing image of a woman with her arms and legs missing.
Listen, Eric, what are you sending this to me for? This is gonna be, oh my, y'all know what this is, right? No! It's one of those chain email things. Send this to 5 people or you die. Then those 5 people gotta send it to 5 more people or they die. Now it's 25 people that's sending this. Thank you. And that sneeze does not take away this serious moment. Don't involve me in none of this foolery, Eric.
What the hell?
Ew! Why are you sending us this?
Right.
Dude, where the hell did you get that photo? I'll tell you, but you guys really need to keep this a secret. Promise me you won't tell anyone.
What are you, a killer?
This isn't marketing related, but okay, I guess.
Sure, dude. Please don't tell me you were the sicko who took that pic. I didn't. I actually got the photo from the dark web. Dude, you go on the dark web?
What's the dark web?
Bad idea, don't.
Supposedly, it's this hidden part of the internet where you can buy illegal stuff. I personally wasn't that educated about the dark web, but I did hear rumors about it growing up. I've always acknowledged the existence of these kinds of things growing up, but I was still unaware as to what potential atrocities lie within the online world.
Bad one.
Eric then says, "Yeah, I just recently started getting into it. I found the photo from one of the forums I came across called Homemade Dolls. Here's the full-size picture." He then sends us the exact same photo, except this time it had a description.
Homemade dolls? I want y'all to know that junk is real. Y'all remember Welcome to the Game? I look through the people? Oh! What the heck? Oh! That was the premise, where they kidnap girls and then they hollow them out and then, I don't know, wax them, or I don't know the process, guys. So that junk is real, man. I can't be convinced otherwise.
Box next to it with the title Doll Number 20. Why the hell, of all people, did I have to be in a group project with this
Eric?
The details in the description stated inhumane acts that can be performed on the victims before being shipped to their buyers. I felt pretty disgusted reading the dialogue, but I was still somewhat skeptical about the whole thing. It was hard to deny its legitimacy, though. The authenticity of the image looked too real to be a hoax.
To be honest, this looks photoshopped.
I don't know. It looks pretty real to me.
Yeah, Eric,
Dude,
don't
that's
send us no more of this
disgusting.
bullcrap.
Why do you even go on sites like that?
Right.
Well, I only go on it occasionally. Midway through Eric's sentence, a random user joins the video chat.
Who is it?
Who's that? I don't know. I swear to God, we better not be getting hacked.
Eric, is this one of your stupid friends from the dark web? I'm gonna call the cops if it is.
That's when I decide to move my mouse cursor to exit the video chat.
It's stuck.
Why the hell isn't this working? Come on, work, damn it.
Turn your computer
My
off.
cursor was resisting to move no matter how many times I clicked or moved my mouse. That's when the random user's video turned on. It was a guy wearing a pig mask. The mask didn't look like some dollar store knockoff. It looked like the skinned face of an actual pig. He wore it like he was Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Hey, is anybody seeing what I'm seeing? Eric, dude, I really hope this isn't a stupid prank. It's not, dude. I don't even know who that is. Why is there a guy wearing a pig mask on my screen?
Guys, what's going on?
I don't know why, but something about that moment, I just knew. I was looking into the eyes of what true evil looks like. That's when my classmate's video chat completely froze. The only screen functioning was the pigman's. It seemed like our computers were being hijacked. I couldn't quite comprehend what was going on until I heard the pigman say, "Can you see me? Say yes if you can hear me." Say it! I reply with, "Yes, what do you want from me?" in an uncontrollable stutter. You know that feeling you get when you're with someone for so long, every single day just drags and becomes a routine? Well, I just want something new and fresh, you know? Something vibrant that will make me feel alive again. I just need a new doll. What do you say? Does it sound like a brilliant plan to you? I was completely appalled by what was
Voice
transpiring.
acting is nuts.
That's when I hear a muffled female's voice in the background. The pigman then swivels the camera towards the direction of the muffled voice, only to reveal a woman with no arms and legs. She had duct tape on her mouth and a chain bound around her neck. The woman was flailing her severed arms wildly in a desperate attempt to escape. A couple seconds later, the pigman approaches her while holding an axe, the kind of axe lumberjacks use to chop down trees.
Kill me!
I began to hyperventilate as I knew the inevitable fate this woman was about to endure. He then raises the axe up in the air. I begin screaming from the top of my
Turn your
lungs.
computer
Leave her
off!
alone, or I'm calling the cops! As I took my last glance at the woman, I realized that it was the same woman in the photo that Eric sent. That's when the pigman smashes the axe against the woman's skull repeatedly. I practically leap up from my chair and begin to vomit.
Took a while for that bile to build up.
This sadistic display was unbearable. What the hell is going on? Someone tell me I'm dreaming. There's no way this is real. I look back on the screen, only to see nothing. Like the whole thing was just a bad dream, or a figment of my imagination. What the hell just happened? I know I'm not going crazy. I immediately messaged my classmates in the group chat saying, please tell me you guys saw all of that. Did any of you see the pigman? We need to report him. Yeah, I briefly saw him, but then my video chat ended.
Same here. That was weird as hell.
Must have been a hacker. Thank God my screen went back to normal. Did you see anything, Terrence? I respond as nonchalantly as I can, saying, yeah, basically what you guys saw. I think it's best that we just put this behind us and move on from here, you know? I didn't know if that was the right decision. I didn't want to further escalate the situation. Acknowledging the pigman's existence was one thing, but going into further detail about afterwards just felt unnecessary. This is the part where I wish the story ends.
What?
It's been a year since the incident. I ended up dropping out and taking the semester off due to the mental trauma.
Look at these cereals. Yo, Horror Shorts Party. Let's just hook your boy up with a little CoryxKenshin Easter egg. And I already got the name for the cereal. Samurai Bootios. Oh, Bootios sounds like booty holes. I'ma press play.
I endured. I now work at a local retail store. I was coming home from work one day, and I saw an envelope sitting in my mail slot. I open it and discover the most horrifying thing that sent shivers down my spine. It was a picture of my classmate, Cindy. Except she had no legs and no arms. The picture was titled Doll Number 21.
That script said 5 back-to-back screams. That story was twisted as freak. Like, if you cutting off both my arms and both my legs, kill me. I barely want to survive at that point. No more video games. I can't break dance. I mean, I can't even break dance now. But this one is called True McDonald's Night Shift Horror Story, and it was uploaded by Horror Shorts Party. Hey, what's good, Horror Shorts? Now, this was sent to us by Central Bios 92, who said it will be a big mistake to work any night shift at McDonald's. Hey, you don't gotta worry about that unless my YouTube go down the drain. Then you might see your boy serving up Happy Meals after hours. What? Horror Shorts? Hey, they make some really good ones. We watched that Deep Web one.
This happened to me when I was working at McDonald's. My boss assigned a schedule amongst our staff. I was unfortunately scheduled for the night shift on Fridays. I didn't usually mind, as we didn't get a whole lot of business around this time of night. My boss was pretty laid back and didn't mind if I went on my phone during business hours.
That's dope.
So long as I got all my work done.
Hey.
I remember dozing off repeatedly due to the fact that I wasn't fully acclimated with the night shift hours. Psst. That's when I heard someone making a psst sound. The kind of sound you make when you try to draw someone's attention. I notice a customer trying to make an order outside, so I quickly greet them with my usual, "Hi, welcome to McDonald's. May I take your order?" I then heard a man say, "1 Whopper, please." "Yes, I would like 1 Whopper."
Sir, welcome to McDonald's, home of the Big Mac. That's like working at Panda Express and somebody walk up and ask for a taco.
"Whopper, please?" I couldn't tell if he was being a smart ass or not, so I ended up saying, "This isn't Burger King, sir. We don't serve that here."
Right.
I heard him chuckling profusely after I said that.
What's funny? Go to Burger King.
I quickly checked the security camera, only to see a clown. The clown was standing in front of the drive-thru menu without a car. It's not Halloween. Why the hell is this guy dressed up like that? I really didn't want to serve this guy, so I decided to use our company policy as a plausible excuse for him to exit the premises. "Hi, sir. Unfortunately, you need to be in a vehicle in order to purchase something here." If you don't have a Whopper, I'll take a Baconator instead.
Oh, you think you at Wendy's,
I now could tell this guy was some random psycho harassing me. I instinctively yell, "Get the hell out of here before I call the cops!" I cautiously stick my...
This voice actor, same as in that deep web story. He got the most energy, dude.
Get the hell out of here before I call the cops! I cautiously stick my head out the window, only to see the clown no longer there. A couple hours later, near the end of my shift, I notify my boss and fellow employees regarding the situation. They all dismiss my accusations by saying ignorant things like,
When your little sibling comes into your room.
"Get the hell out of here before I call the cops!"
Oh my goodness. Oh. Okay.
A couple hours later, near the end of my shift, I notify my boss and fellow employees regarding the situation. They all dismiss my accusations by saying ignorant things like, "Did you get his autograph?" Or,
"Wow,
it was probably some guy that thought it was Halloween." I annoyingly pretend to be amused and head home. The following Friday, it was my time to work the night shift again.
No.
I really dreaded working this shift, especially after what transpired that day. I tried to convince myself that it would be highly unlikely that I encounter that clown again.
Please.
As time went on, I remember dozing off as I get startled by
always
another
going to sleep
sound. I urgently check the security camera, but don't see anyone present.
Oh no, he's inside.
At this point, I genuinely thought I was hearing things due to my subconscious mind thinking about the clown. My paranoia must have been at the peak of its height. That's when I turn my head towards the drive-thru window, only to see the clown staring dead at me. If you don't make me a Big Mac, I will kill you.
You got money?
My heart sank to my stomach. The clown knew my name. I immediately grabbed my cell phone to call the cops, but my hands were trembling so much that I actually wasn't capable of dialing anything. The clown started screaming my name, Trevor, repeatedly. Trevor, 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 I am not loving it! Trevor, 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 Trevor! I see blood dripping down from his head. I started shouting from the top of my lungs, "Leave me alone or I will call the cops!" The clown runs away as another car approaches the drive-thru lot. I stupidly resume work and...
Yeah, imagine. After all of that, leave me alone before I call the cops! Hi, welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Wait for my boss to come in. Upon his arrival, I explain the entire situation to him. He then dismisses me by saying, "Don't sweat it, kid. It was probably some drunk. You can go home now." As he was talking, I noticed a cut on his forehead.
What?
I could even see blood start to drip from it. No. It can't be. Goodbye, Trevor. No!
Dang. Hey! I don't want to hear this. Another banger from Horror Shorts Party. And shout out to the voice actor, man. Terrence Nicholson. The last one for this week is called A True Paranormal Activity Horror Story. It was uploaded by Horror Shorts Party, one of my favorite animators. This was sent to us by Hey-chan's Apples. I think that's how you say it. And it said, we watched it at night and it was disturbing. So, let's jump straight in, shall we? So, Australian, bruh. Like, I think I was born in Australia and I just didn't even know. Don't you think so? Outback.
This is the most terrifying thing that has ever happened to me. I want to share my story with the world.
All right.
Now that I have closure.
Oh.
It all started...
It is my favorite voice actor. Terrence Nicholson. Yo, this dude is fire, man. If you know, you know. That's all I gotta say.
I immediately grabbed my cell phone to call the cops, but my hands were trembling so much that I actually wasn't capable of dialing anything. Trevor, 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 I am not loving it! A couple years ago when I was living with my girlfriend, who we'll call Sarah for the sake of the story. I remember we were both in the living room watching a movie. We usually did movie nights on Fridays, and it was my turn to select which movie we get to watch. I was personally a horror fanatic, so I chose a horror film.
Good pick.
It was pretty late in the night when this occurred, so it really made the movie that much more intense. Sarah wasn't really into the horror genre, so you can imagine the kind of reaction she had throughout the movie. Midway into the movie, Sarah asks if I could walk her to the bedroom. I reply by saying, sure, after the movie's done.
You know I don't like horror. Please just walk me to the bedroom. I'm scared, Trevor.
We can leave when the movie's done. I sat through your whole movie last week, so it's only fair that you finish mine.
Please don't do this to me. I'm really scared, Trevor.
Quit being a...
Hey, you don't want to focus on the movie? There's other stuff for you to focus on, baby.
Don't do this to me. I'm really scared, Trevor.
Quit being a chicken. I'm not leaving the couch till this movie's done.
Dang, he kind of...
I hate you!
Dang!
Sarah angrily gets up and heads to the bedroom on her own while I...
When your mom tell you you can't get that new CoryxKenshin merch?
I hate you!
When McDonald's shake machine broke?
I hate you!
Sarah angrily gets up and heads to the bedroom on her own while I continue watching the movie and mentally prepare myself for the argument that awaited me. About 10 minutes later, my throat begins to itch, so I decide to get a bottle of water in the kitchen. As I stood up from the couch, I get startled as I see Sarah standing in the darkness of the hallway. Sarah, you scared me. I thought you were in bed sleeping. Sarah just stands there with her eyes wide open, gazing into my eyes with her emotionless expression, almost like she was looking into the depths of my soul. I assume she was still upset about earlier, so I said, I'll be waiting in bed as I casually walk past her. As I open the bedroom door, I see Sarah laying in bed asleep.
Whoa.
My mind raced with mixed emotions of confusion and absolute horror. I could have sworn I just saw her. I decide to peek outside the hallway, only to see nothing. This can't be real. I could have sworn I just saw her.
You did.
I must be hallucinating.
You did.
I just need to stop watching scary movies this late at night. I disregard what had just occurred and crawled into bed with Sarah.
Make sure that's the real one.
At 3 a.m. in the morning, I wake up to a loud sound which sounded like glass being shattered. I noticed Sarah was no longer in bed with me, which I found quite bizarre as it was very uncharacteristic for her to be awake at this time of night. I could hear weird noises coming from the washroom outside the bedroom. I cautiously get up and began to approach the washroom. I could hear Sarah in there. It sounded like she was talking to someone, or something.
The voodoo chant.
I opened the door, only to discover the most terrifying thing I had ever laid eyes on. I can see Sarah standing in the bathtub covered in blood. She had smashed the mirror and used the broken shards to lacerate her body entirely. She then began yelling the words, I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! Her voice was demonic. I was thoroughly convinced that this was not my girlfriend and that she had been possessed by some sort of evil entity.
Yeah.
I stood there quivering, not being able to move a muscle out of shell shock. Sarah then pulls the shower curtain, unveiling a message on the wall which spelled, I hate you.
I get it.
Written in blood.
I heard you.
My legs go completely numb as I collapse to the floor. Sarah then picks up a...
How many of y'all, when you get scared, literally fold yourself like an omelet?
Sarah? Sarah, oh my gosh, what's happening?
Sarah then picks up a large piece of the broken mirror and yells one last time in her demonic voice, I hate you! She then pierces the shard across my chest repeatedly, stabbing and stabbing and
Oh
stabbing.
my gosh!
I remember seeing a bright white light as my life flashed before me. That's when I open my eyes and wake up to a movie playing in the living room. This isn't the horror movie I played earlier. Must have been a movie Sarah put on. I checked the time and it was exactly 3 a.m. I looked to my right only to see Sarah staring dead at me with a grimacing look. What's wrong, Sarah?
This is the third time you fell asleep to the movie that I picked on movie night. I hate you.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say it.
Sarah?
Run!
Sarah?
Ah! 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 Do y'all see why this man is my favorite voice actor? That I really enjoyed that animation. That was good. This next one is called True Trick or Treat Horror Story, and it was uploaded by Horror Shorts Party. So once again, you know it's gonna be a banger. Now this was sent to us by Ladarian, who said, "Please reply to me. It will make my day." Well, your day's been made, brother. Take this positive energy that you feel. Take this moment and harness it. Harness it into a ball of pure, concentrated energy. Now absorb it and accomplish all of your goals. Ooh, they set in the mood. They set in the mood. Oh! I know y'all see him. Narrated by none other than Terrence Nicholson. Voice acting is about to be on point automatically. Favorite voice actor ever.
This story happened a couple years ago when I was in my early teens. It all started when I went to the movies with my friend Sam to go see the world premiere of The Dark Knight. The movie garnered a lot of notoriety at the time, obviously due to Heath Ledger's leading role as the Joker. I personally thought it was the greatest movie I had ever seen, considering I've seen almost every Batman movie that ever existed. I decided to buy some Dark Knight merchandise at the vendor
Terrence Nicholson shop.
who's located in the theater. What appealed most was how cheap the Batman masks were selling for. I didn't have a Halloween costume picked out for October yet, and neither did my friend Sam. We both
Easter egg.
collectively purchased one mask each and figured it would make for an easy costume to trick-or-treat with. I can honestly say it was an astronomical improvement from the cliche bedsheet over the head ghost I was last year. Fast forward to October 31st. Me and Sam both wore our Batman masks and began going door to door, looking for an opportunity to fill our candy sacks faster than any other trick-or-treater on the block. Trick-or-treat! Well, happy Halloween, Batman. I mean, Batman. That's it? Lame.
What you say? Boy, I'll snatch that bag out your freaking hands. Get off my porch.
That's it? Lame.
Get the hell off my property, you ungrateful twerps!
The majority of the houses were pretty
Yeah.
generous, with the exception of a few bad apples, to say the least. On this particular night, there wasn't many houses that had their lights on, which generally meant that they didn't really celebrate Halloween, or in other words, they weren't giving out candy.
Facts.
Me and Sam were understandably upset considering we'd been walking for at least an hour. I continued trick-or-treating while Sam began to head home through the pit located in the middle of the neighborhood.
Why didn't I just stay home and watch SpongeBob?
The
SpongeBob never gonna be the same.
pit was just a fancy nickname for the forest reserve, which was generally used for nature walks during the day. But me and Sam went there solely for the sake of a shortcut home. I began walking about half a block down when I see more houses without their lights on. Screw this, I'm going home. I eventually approached the pit while beating myself over the head for not leaving at the same time as Sam. As I entered the pit, I instantly had second thoughts of taking the longer route, as this route seemed nothing short of irresponsible and dangerous.
Yeah.
I ultimately decided to man up and continue walking through the pit, as I didn't want to prolong my already dreadful night. Why the hell did I have to take this route? I can barely see anything.
Right.
I knew I should have dressed up as a skateboarder. I would have been home already. I remember the pit being so dark to the point where I could virtually see nothing except for whatever my cell phone light was illuminating.
No.
What the
Not
hell
that
was
clown
that?
again.
I began walking faster as I could hear faint sounds of what sounded like a maniac clown laughing. What the hell? Who's there? Who's there? At this point, I was so
it's the
petrified,
McDonald's
I
clown.
instinctively dropped my candy due to the adrenaline rush flowing through my body. I couldn't care less about the candy, as I genuinely felt like my life was in danger.
Run!
That's when I saw the source of the laughter standing a few feet in front of me. It was a man dressed as the Joker from the Batman movie I saw previously. He honestly looked like an exact replica of Heath Ledger's with a hint of blood on his costume. What made this more disturbing was how casual his demeanor was. He just stood there smiling at me like my appearance was amusing to him.
No.
I didn't want to express the fear I felt internally, so I tried to playfully marvel at his costume and say, Hey there. I really like your Joker costume. No matter how hard I tried to keep a composed poker face, my body language and mannerisms couldn't help but show the fear that bled inside of me.
Bro.
He then took a couple steps closer to me as I began to cautiously take a few steps backwards. Hey man, what the hell do you want from me? Why so serious? Happy Halloween. The man surprisingly walks past me while I watch him in complete shock. What the hell was that? Was that some real-life Joker? At this point, I continued walking home while looking back every 2 seconds to make sure the man wasn't lurking behind me. I eventually make it home and watch a couple of YouTube videos, trying to forget the creepy encounter that just took place. That's when my dad pops into my room and asks me to answer the house phone. Hey, Mark, answer the house phone. Hello?
Hey, Mark, is Sam still with you?
That's when I felt my heart drop to my stomach.
Oh, that was his friend.
No, he left to go home way before I did.
Oh my god, why would you leave without him? He's not even home!
Sam's parents end up calling the
my
police,
fault.
which resulted in an entire block search party. What came of such an innocent Halloween night turned into a nightmare. Sam's remains were eventually found in the pit, with his face lacerated into an exaggerated smile, and his head decapitated from the body. I haven't trick-or-treated since, and I still live with the regret of not leaving at the same time as my friend. I informed law enforcement about the bizarre encounter with the man I saw that night. Call it speculation or whatever you want, but I know the death of my friend Sam had something to do with that sick man. Or should I say, the Joker.
My God, why? Why did you take my son from me?
This is horrible.
Oh, God. God, why? Why did you take my son from me?
Police are looking for any witnesses to come forward in the connection of a deadly homicide of a teen. The victim's remains were found at the local park observatory. The suspect is described to be approximately 6 feet tall, Caucasian, and was last seen wearing purple attire with a green vest and tie. Police say the suspect is described to have face paint imitating the Joker from the blockbuster hit The Dark Knight. If anyone has any tips, please contact your local
Batman,
law
where was
enforcement and
you?
shall remain anonymous.
What?
All right, Karen, back to you.
Oh, wait. She was from that other thing we watched. Oh, I love how all his animations are connected. She was from the other one. Look at him. Sick.
Trick or treat! Well, happy Halloween, Batman. I mean, Batman. That's it?
Yo! Y'all see what happens when you ungrateful?
Lame.
Get the hell off my property, you ungrateful twerps!
All right, we're back. It's 5 p.m. now.
What?
It was just too quiet. Now I can talk as loud as I want. First video of this week is called True OnlyFans Horror Story. Now your boy was thinking, I know a couple girls with some OnlyFans. Maybe I should do it. We could make some bank, you know. Y'all trying to see CoryxKenshin OnlyFans?
No!
This was uploaded by Horror Shorts Party, and this was sent to us by Mac2725, who said this animation disgusted me. So let's get disgusting. OnlyFans, link in bio, baby.
I will never look at life the same way after
Starbucks?
what I experienced. It still bothers me
Too
just
expensive.
thinking about it. It happened a while ago when I was working as a cashier at Starbucks. I worked part-time as there was unfortunately not enough hours available, so moving out of my parents' house wasn't the easiest
Gotta
endeavor
get up
to
out of there.
accomplish.
Hey, I've been at my parents' house for 2 days. I'm already ready to go home.
My parents always nagged at me for the latter part of the day, which always had me stressed out.
Feel that.
They would always send subliminal jabs alluding to me moving out.
Dang.
I'll never forget the time my dad confronted me while I was doing laundry.
Hey, Jason, can you ask for a raise at work?
I can't exactly do that, Dad. I'd probably get fired if I tried that.
What?
Well, can't you work somewhere else then? I'm gonna need your room soon, because I plan to make it Charlie's room.
Charlie was my baby brother.
Oh, okay.
Well, can't Charlie stay in your room a little longer?
I said I'm gonna need your room, damn it!
Well, where the hell am I supposed to stay then?
Figure it out! You've had plenty of time now!
I've always avoided going home.
Dad,
after that,
chill!
especially after confrontations like that.
Oh
I
my
would much rather
God.
procrastinate at work after my shift was done, just to avoid the inevitable arguments that awaited me. Sounded like a better deal
I wouldn't want to go home either.
anyway. It'd been a few weeks since the tense clash with my dad. My life had been a little bit more bearable
Four Shorts
since
Party
I started
karaoke.
going to this local karaoke bar located down the street from my
Hey.
workplace. I would make it a routine to go there after work just to instill a little more enthusiasm in my already
man.
dull life.
Get some happiness.
I was a regular, so I knew all the employees on a first-name basis.
Who that is?
What you drinking tonight, hot stuff?
How about
I'll
you,
get the
baby?
usual, Sally.
Wait a minute. It's you again. Jason, right?
Yep, me again.
Good to see you again, Jason. One order coming right up.
Thanks, Sally. I really
Okay.
enjoyed coming
Hey,
here
Sally,
as
what you
it was
doing
the
after
perfect
work?
place for guests to lounge with
Ugh.
just a small admission fee. The bar always held live performances from various bands, so there was usually a decent-sized crowd always in attendance.
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's the final
that Drake
performance
over
of the
there?
night. Please give it up for the lovely Katie! Doesn't
Yo.
she have the prettiest?
Don't talk to me, bruh. Head shaped like a jumbo peanut.
Eyes you've ever seen?
Yeah, really attractive, which made older men look like young teenage boys fanboying over her. I've had the privilege of chatting with Katie after her shows before, but this time I mustered up the courage to ask her out.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Katie,
Jason?
it's me again.
Who are you?
Jason, we
Hey.
met on several occasions after your performances. I'm a big fan of your voice.
Thanks, Jason. I really appreciate.
I think you're the best singer ever, and you're really gorgeous.
Jason, relax.
Thank you.
I was wondering if we could potentially
Oh,
exchange...
Jason. All you men are alike. I bet you just want to see what I look like without my clothes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, but at the same time, I'm not saying that it can't grow after that. Like, I'm not about to walk up to you if I'm not trying to get to know you.
No? I mean, yeah. Katie
Yeah.
nonchalantly takes my cell phone and begins punching in her contact information.
Really?
Holy crap, this is actually happening. I must be dreaming.
Okay,
Here you
Jason.
go, Jason. Hope to chat with you more.
Definitely, baby. I mean, Kate.
He needs some milk.
She should have took his phone and deleted her info. Definitely, baby. Come on, bro. Come on.
As I was on my way home, I decided to be ballsy and give Katie a goodnight text.
Oh my God.
I then noticed she had given me a link to her OnlyFans page as opposed to her phone number.
Oh my God.
What the hell is this? Well, at least I might get to see some nudes. I've personally never used an OnlyFans before, but if there was going to be someone's account I was going to check out, it'd be Katie's. I eventually make it home and
don't
open up her
start
page on my
sipping, bruh.
computer browser. A subscription of $10 a month? Netflix doesn't even charge that much.
Facts.
I unfortunately
Well, actually, they
didn't
do.
have the funds to purchase such things, but my curiosity was what put the nail in the coffin. I took out my credit card and shamefully typed in the details on the site. I was now officially
Let me speak to y'all young boys. Don't y'all simp for no woman. Alright? She gonna take that $10. She gonna string you along. Oh, Jason, oh my gosh. Give you a little shoulder. Jason, yeah, thanks for coming to my OnlyFans. And that's all you ever gonna get. She gonna take that $10 and she gonna buy some food for another dude.
What more do you want from me?
Message from the Shogun.
subscribed to Katie's OnlyFans account. I began scrolling around, seeing a lot of mature content throughout her page. I can honestly say it wasn't the most regretful decision I ever
Dang.
made, as I got to see a different side of Katie. Or should I say, a different side of my longtime crush. Oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
Bro.
Throughout the night, I continued to browse through more of Katie's content till it was time to head to bed. It'd been a couple of weeks since that whole ordeal occurred. I still worked as a cashier at Starbucks and made it a routine to go to the karaoke bar after work. Everything had pretty much been the same except I hadn't seen or heard about Katie since.
Uh-oh.
I couldn't help but feel like I had some sort of role in Katie's sudden disappearance from the bar, so
Why?
I decided to snoop around her OnlyFans once again.
It's that guy.
Later
the
that
peanut
night,
head.
I had Katie's OnlyFans open on my computer. The monthly subscription I had paid for previously was still in effect, so I could still view her content. There were 5 observations I accumulated right off the bat. The first observation was that her status said,
That's good.
Oh, my bad. Are you recording?
Oh, yeah, I'm recording. What's up?
Oh, yeah, well, okay.
Close the freaking door.
active 5 minutes ago. I assumed she had lost interest in the singing gig and was pursuing the OnlyFans endeavor
Because she started
solely.
making a lot of money from
The
that.
second
Trust-
observation was that she began to wear sunglasses in all her recent photos. Interesting. The third observation was that her photos were being taken in an old wooden cellar, not the aesthetic bedroom that she once previously
What the
had.
freak?
The fourth observation was that all her pre-existing content was deleted. Why the hell would she get rid of it?
It was some blood on the
The
floor.
only thing left on Katie's page was 3 photos of her posing with sunglasses. The last observation was the one that struck me the most.
What?
I could tell her recent
The
pictures
shadow?
were being taken by someone due to the shadow presented in the photos. Call me Sherlock Holmes if you will, but I had my suspicions that something just wasn't right.
She
I
did.
decided to direct message Katie saying, "Hey, it's me, Jason, from the karaoke bar.
Oh, she don't
I'm not sure if you remember me, but
No.
I wanted to know why don't you perform there anymore?" About
She's
10 minutes
dead.
go by and I get no reply. She probably gets 1,000 messages. I bet she'll reply to this though. That's when I decided to bribe Katie by sending a convincing message saying, "Hey, if I tipped you $5, could you send me a video of..."
Oh, we got money bags over here, $5. I bet you gonna say something now. I'm sorry, it's a difference between Starbucks money and OnlyFans money.
Self smiling on camera. About a minute later, I surprisingly got a response from Katie showing a hidden video with an option of unlock for $5.
Wow.
I end up accepting the purchase, only to see a video of Katie wearing sunglasses. She just stood in one spot, not saying anything.
She moving?
I then heard a male voice in the background saying,
Smile for the camera, you vermin!
Katie then involuntarily puts on this bizarre and unnatural smile, almost like she was a cartoon character from a Disney movie. I felt really disturbed from what I was witnessing. I decided to continue the game of charades and say, "If I give you $5 more, could you send me a video of yourself kissing the friend you're with?" About 5 minutes had passed and I got no reply. I honestly thought Katie was done with my pathetic games until I got another message of a hidden video with a $5 price tag on it.
That sucks that you gotta. Is that? I never been on OnlyFans. I ain't sipping for nobody. But can they really do something to where you have to unlock it and then watch it? Because what if it wasn't what you paid for? She could mess around and be like, "Oh yeah, unlock for $500." Then it's just gonna be foot pics. Yeah, I know some of y'all into this. I'm gonna give y'all a couple seconds. Go ahead.
I hesitantly unlocked the video, only to see a disturbing clip of Katie saying,
He's not my friend! Don't ever say he's my friend, because he's not.
I knew it.
He's more than that to me. He's my everything. He's my one and only love.
That's my good girl. Oh, yeah. The young boy wanted some kissing action. Let's make his money's worth, shall we?
I felt sick to my stomach. I then realized that the gentleman's appearance stood out to me like I recognized him from somewhere. I couldn't exactly pinpoint where I knew him from. He definitely looked familiar to me. The man then said,
I bet you love to see Katie's beautiful eyes, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you?
Bro, he gouts him out.
I'm gonna make this your best $5 ever spent.
He gouts him out.
That's when the man removed the sunglasses from
Oh
Katie's face,
my
revealing her
goodness.
eye sockets with both eyeballs missing. That's when I exited my web browser and immediately turned off my computer. What the hell was that? That was wrong on so many levels. I decided to head to bed and call it a night, hoping to sleep off the nightmare I just witnessed firsthand. It's been a couple months since the incident had occurred. I haven't seen Katie's OnlyFans account since, as I assume she deleted it. Or should I say, that man in the video did. I haven't told anyone about this, and quite frankly, I don't know what to do. I still go to the karaoke bar with an optimistic attitude that one day I'll see Katie again.
No. You never will see her again. That's my boy right there. Bro, that was insane. That horror shorts party, you're goated. Here. Hold on, your crown. Put that. It's called True Christmas Horror Story, and it was uploaded by the legendary Horror Shorts Party. Now, this was sent to us by Evan Turner, who said, "Happy New Year. Hope you're doing well and love your videos." Evan Turner, I love you. When will y'all understand? There ain't no CoryxKenshin without the samurai. Perfect. Evan, what you talk about you love me? Better relax with all of that. Horror Shorts Party. Y'all know what time it is. Who narrating? My boy, Terrence Nicholson! And Ariane.
I hate Christmas. I hate it with the most malice intentions ever.
Why?
As a matter of fact, the thought of Christmas makes my skin crawl.
Bruh, why?
I wasn't like this before.
It's the best holiday.
I used to cherish the holiday tradition, but all of that's changed now. It all started a couple years back when I was 26 years old.
Okay.
It was the holidays, so Christmas was around the corner while festivities were in full effect.
Fact.
Hey, I'm on my way to pick you up.
I'm excited to go Christmas shopping.
Hey.
Yeah, me too.
Talking to your girl?
Me and my girlfriend Emma had dated since high school, so the bond that we shared was something most couples couldn't fathom, to say the least.
Really?
I decided to propose to Emma on Christmas. Figured I couldn't go wrong on such a monumental occasion. I remember it being a snowy evening when me and Emma went to the mall to do some holiday Christmas shopping.
Bet.
The mall was bombarded with more shoppers than usual as there was a holiday sale going on in almost every store.
One thing I love about Horror Shorts Party, there are so many Easter eggs. Exhibit A, zoom up there. You see that? He was on one of them other episodes. Let's go back a couple frames. Foot lettuce, as in Burger King foot lettuce.
Number 15, Burger King foot lettuce. The last thing you'd want in your Burger King burger is someone's foot fungus, but as it turns out, that might be what you get.
Man, I love the Easter eggs.
More shoppers than usual as there was a holiday sale going on in almost every store. I remember being in need of a festive outfit for my parents' upcoming Christmas party as my wardrobe lacked the attire. I decided to check out the clothing store Forever 21 as I could see they had a wide variety of selection from first glance.
Some heat in there sometimes.
I picked out an array of various Christmas sweaters and headed to the fitting room while my girlfriend waited outside for me.
Y'all see what I'm seeing? Emma got that dump truck.
Oh yeah, fits way better than my dad's lame hand-me-downs. Hey babe, how does this look? I noticed my girlfriend Emma wasn't there.
Look at that shirt.
I figured she must have gone back into the store to look at more clothes. As I left the changing room, I noticed from the corner of my eye that Emma was outside the store waiting in a huge line for something.
What?
I ended up purchasing one of the sweaters and began to approach Emma.
Why you leave?
Hey babe, why'd you leave me hanging in the fitting room?
I wanted to line up and take a picture with him.
Emma, this line is huge. I'll just dress up as Santa later and you can take a picture of me.
He's not Santa, though.
I looked towards the direction of where the lineup began and realized that there were two separate lineups. One lineup was for a professionally taken photo with the mall Santa. The other lineup was for a picture with a man dressed as the Grinch. We were unfortunately in the lineup for the Grinch as Emma was a pretty big fan of the character. I personally found the whole ordeal bizarre considering he didn't have any professional setup like how the mall Santa had. No platform, no chair, no professional photographer, no elf services, just him and the bench he sat on. I assumed he was one of those street performers that just dressed up for donations, except there was no tip jar or anything that would allow guests to donate in. Emma, this guy looks kinda sus. Can we just leave?
Please just relax, Henry. It'll only take a couple of minutes.
I decided to bite my tongue and proceed with Emma's request, as there was nothing I could have said that could convince her otherwise. As we got closer to the front of the lineup, I could visibly see the Grinch's eyes light up with exhilaration. Almost like I brought a sense of enthusiasm into his day. I decided to be ballsy and lock eyes with him, just to express more of my alpha male side towards his
Yeah, let him know! What you looking at? Let him know who the alpha male is. We could stare all day. That's how I be in public, too. He be looking, I'm like, we could take this outside. If you want.
As time gradually progressed, I realized that he wasn't making eye contact with me, he was looking at my girlfriend Emma. It was blatantly obvious he had an interest in my girlfriend due to the lack of attention he was giving others taking photos with him. What the hell is this guy's problem? Why is he checking out my girlfriend? We eventually reached the front of the line and approached the Grinch to take a three-way selfie with my cell phone.
Hey, buddy, the girl gets a picture first.
Dude, that's my girlfriend.
He sound like Jim Carrey,
too. Get behind the girl, kid.
Stupid green prick.
Another beautiful hoe.
What did...
Woke up and chose anarchy.
Did you just call me?
I mean, ho, 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 Merry Christmas.
What's
your name, little girl?
My name is Emma.
Ooh, what a beautiful name to match such a beautiful face. Why don't you come here and sit on Daddy's lap?
Whoa!
Dude, what the hell is your problem? Back off, loser. She wants a picture with me, not you.
He's my boyfriend. Don't talk to him like that.
Sit on my lap and be a good girl, Emma, or else Santa won't give you any presents this year.
There we go, Emma!
Putting you on my naughty list, you little brat!
That's when we decided to head home.
Yo!
I remember dropping off my girlfriend at her place and then heading home to assist my parents in prepping for the Christmas party the following night. My parents were really old school and put a lot of effort into decorating their household, especially during festive holidays like this.
Bruh, that whole ordeal.
Later that night, I remember making myself a glass of hot chocolate spiked with a little bit of my dad's whiskey. I sat by the fireplace and enjoyed the fire crackling ambience while casually sipping on my drink. Figured I couldn't go wrong with that on a warm Christmas Eve.
Where's your family at? Oh, he lit.
I remember hearing my cell phone ringing throughout the night. I recall being so intoxicated I couldn't see nor hear anything distinctively. Everything was blurry. It felt virtually impossible to move any fiber of my body, almost like I was stuck in a subconscious state of sleep paralysis. I began to close my eyes and doze off again.
Bruh, that's his girl hitting him up. It's going down over there.
A couple hours later, I recall a voice whispering my name.
Hey, Henry. Henry, wake up. Hello, wake up, little drunk. It's me, Santa.
I could vaguely see the outline of a man that looked like a Santa figure standing in front of me. Bear in mind, I was still in a groggy and incoherent state of mind, so making out the gentleman's minuscule facial features was almost an impossible endeavor to comprehend.
Hey, Henry, I brought you a Christmas present.
Dad, is that you?
Henry,
It's your dad, Green.
I want you to open up this Christmas gift first when you wake up. Do you understand me?
Yeah, Dad, sir.
I'm going to leave it right here in the middle of the Christmas tree, okay?
That's his girl.
Okay.
Anyways, Merry Christmas, Henry.
Merry Christmas, Dad.
Shh. Time to go to sleep again, Henry.
Bruh. He done wrapped up his girl's dump truck.
A couple hours later, I get awoken by the light from the living room window illuminating on my face. I realized I had blacked out due to the spiked concoction I had whipped up the previous night. I checked my cell phone and realized that I had about 10 missed calls and over 100 missed texts from Emma. I opened the text messages, only to see the text reading,
Hey, is that you? Are you inside my place?
isn't funny, Henry.
And so on and so forth. What I found more disturbing was the last batch of messages, which read,
I knew you were going to propose all along.
Merry Christmas, Henry.
It just kept repeating over and over again. I began calling Emma's cell phone and only got her voicemail. That's when I closed my eyes and began recollecting the imagery of what transpired last night. I could vaguely recall someone dressed as Santa and leaving a present underneath the Christmas tree. That's when I noticed a box that looked out of place from the rest of the presents. I took the box and opened it, only to discover a severed hand. The hand had a message on it which read, "Marry me."
Terrence, why you laughing right now? That freaking Grinch. When all of that Joe was popping off at the mall, yo, soon as my man started talking crazy, this one is called True Chuck E. Cheese Horror Story. Chuck E. Cheese. And this was uploaded by Horror Shorts Party, so I'm expecting greatness. Now this was sent to us by Kayla, who said, if you weren't already scared of Chuck E. Cheese, then watch this. I'm not scared of Chuck E. Cheese. Freddy Fazbear, that's a totally different situation. But Kayla, for submitting this story and for Samurai slicing that like button, I present to you a strawberry flavored Nutri-Grain bar. Open up. Kayla, it's real simple, right? When you eating something, you just let me see you do that.
This video is brought to you by NordVPN.
Nah, we skipped that. Y'all acting like y'all be actually watching my sponsors. Nobody be watching my sponsors, and I be trying to make them fun for y'all, doing the whole Ma! What? Like, but y'all, I know y'all be skipping them. Just know, YouTubers do sponsors because we need money. Now, some of y'all think I only make videos when I need more money. But let me tell you something. I don't need no more money. You see all these Nutri-Grain bars on my desk? Do you see the drip? Damn. Need I say more? I do a sponsor. It's because I'm probably about to give that money away to somebody else. Get into it. Let's get into it. Who narrating today? Who narrating? Singer Turner's Nicholson.
I've been holding on to this for a couple of years now.
All right.
I feel like I need to get it off my chest. I had a few years to digest this, and now I'm ready to share my story with the world.
Speak.
I wish to remain anonymous, so for the sake of this story, my name will be Danny. The details of this story remain vivid, but somewhat foggy, as I try to reminisce on the distant memories that occurred a couple of years ago.
Okay.
It all started when me and my parents resided together in an old townhouse, which was located in a neighborhood notorious for having a high crime rate.
Yeah, it looked pretty trashy.
I never liked living there, and neither did my parents. But it was the only thing that we could afford at the time.
Okay.
My parents were a little rough around the edges, considering they had both been through a lot in their younger years. My dad has had a few run-ins with the law.
Your dad looked like the type of dude you don't want to share a cell with. Look at his elbow. Bent forwards? Y'all know what that means.
While my mom lost both her parents at a very young age.
Dang.
So seeing them edgy at times didn't faze me at all. Well, I'm doing my best, all right?
Can you do something else? What you're doing isn't working.
I'd like to see you do better.
Well,
Hey.
do better, damn it!
Shut the hell up already. I'm tired of hearing you nag all day.
You shut up, you bum!
Almost every night, I could hear the constant back and forth bickering that occurred for hours on end between my parents.
You don't want to hear that.
They would always fight over what I assumed to be financial-related issues, which had only gotten worse over the years. My parents both didn't really make much money on their respective jobs, so hearing them argue was almost a daily occurrence. I was always scared that things would turn violent, especially with the way these two went at it.
Uh-oh.
I can make out my mom saying,
If you don't get a real job, I'm taking Danny and we're moving out!
"What in the hell are you talking about? He doesn't even like you."
Shut up! Shut up! Shut the hell up!
Oh,
I remember hearing sounds of my mom opening up the kitchen drawers, which led me to assume she was searching for something sharp and potentially do the unthinkable.
Run out there.
That's when I decided to head downstairs and mediate the feud.
Break it up,
hopefully put it to rest. As I approached the kitchen, I could see my mom holding a huge knife in an overhand grip.
Mom?
The kind of grip that someone uses in preparation of stabbing someone.
Mom, what are you doing?
I could also see my dad holding one of the dining room chairs, in which I assumed was his defense mechanism.
What are you doing here, Danny? Didn't I tell you never to leave your room unless you have to use the washroom?
Mom?
I'm sorry, Mom, but I heard you and...
Go to your room, you little turd!
Don't...
Give me the knife, Mom. Give me the knife.
Go to your room, you little turd!
Don't call him that!
Don't tell me what to do.
Dad, my feelings are not hurt.
Please don't kill Dad!
I said go to your room, Danny!
Leave Danny alone and put the knife away, Helen. That's when my mom began piercing the family portrait of us.
Mom got it.
Except she was only piercing the portion with my dad's face.
Yo.
Mom, stop! Please stop it! It's been a couple weeks after the whole saga had occurred.
Yo.
My parents ended up getting a divorce, which unfortunately left me to reside with my mother.
Oh.
The court unfortunately ruled that my mom would be in favor of getting custody of me due to my dad's criminal history with the law.
Oh, man.
I honestly contemplated on running away due to how much I dreaded living.
Y'all know it's about to happen when you don't take the trash out, right? Imagine you forgot to take the trash out once. You gonna be all comfortable in bed, go open your eyes, just see your mom standing over you. Danny? Did you forget to take the trash out?
With her. Especially with how toxic and controlling her behavior was.
Toxic?
I would spend most of my time locked in my bedroom, sulking. I couldn't live a normal life like the rest of the younger individuals in my neighborhood. Why in the hell do I have to live with her? Why couldn't I just live with Dad? He was always the better parent.
Dang.
I can't stand her. I wish she were dead.
Whoa, whoa!
What made this even worse was the fact that I had a curfew during my school days. I didn't even have time to join any after-school clubs or sports teams due to the simple fact that I was too worried about not making it home on time.
Dang, bro.
I remember my mom locked me out of the house for several hours due to the fact that I was 5 minutes past my curfew.
CPS.
The one thing I found even more aggravating was how my mom permanently banned me from going to the local Chuck E. Cheese restaurant.
You're going too far. I was okay with you locking them outside of the house for a couple hours. No, that's fine. But you took Chuck E. Cheese away from my boy?
Down the street from my residence. For those that aren't familiar with Chuck E. Cheese, it's a restaurant that has arcade games and playrooms for younger crowds such as myself. I enjoyed going there, as it would bring back fond memories of when me and my dad used to go.
Chuck E. Cheese's, where a kid can be a kid.
As it would bring back fond memories of when me and my dad used to go. I usually went to Chuck E. Cheese every time it was my birthday, just as a tradition my dad established when we all used to live together. But all of that is gone now. My mom took my entire childhood away from me, which I find equivalent to ripping my heart out of my chest.
Dang, bro.
She selfishly didn't want me going because she didn't want me to be reminded of my dad's existence.
That's deep.
The rules and restrictions I had to abide by really made it difficult to make any friends, which put me in a dark state of mind for the latter part of my life. There was one night where I decided to approach my mom and convince her to bring me to Chuck E. Cheese for my upcoming birthday. I honestly cared more about Chuck E. Cheese than my actual birthday itself, which is why I ended up using it as an excuse to go there.
Okay.
Hey, Mom, can we please go to Chuck E. Cheese for my...
No, Danny, I already told you this.
But it's for my birthday.
No.
I anticipated the rebuttal my mom was going to throw at me, but that didn't stop me from being persistent with my request. After a few tears and relentless...
I'm right, getting some recognition. That spooky, scary Sunday, huh? Yeah, No, that's so fire, bro. Thank you so much, man. That's so
My
cool.
mom eventually caved in and agreed to take me there on my birthday.
All right,
The
bet.
exhilaration of going to Chuck E. Cheese after all these months was honestly something I would compare to
Look
an
at his
inmate
eye.
getting released from jail.
Look at his eye.
I felt so excited, to the point where I didn't even care about anything else.
Yo.
Just me and the place that I once grew to love. My birthday eventually arrived, and it was time for me to finally visit Chuck E. Cheese once again.
Yo.
It was about the evening time, so the venue was usually packed to full capacity. I couldn't help but marvel at what was in front of me, as I genuinely felt I was a kid in a candy shop.
That guy! Y'all saw him?
I must be dreaming. I immediately started playing the arcade games while my mom wandered off to grab some food.
Enjoy yourself, buddy.
I remember being so hungry, but at the same time so infatuated with every arcade game that was in front of me.
Yeah, there we go.
I couldn't help but indulge in countless games, as I knew this could be my very last time at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
That's when I felt a strange tap on my shoulder.
What?
I turned towards the direction of where I felt the tap, only to see a large Chuck E. Cheese rat mascot hovering over me.
You alright?
I was a little alarmed that the mascot would approach me, considering there were hundreds of guests in attendance. Hey, Chucky? The mascot didn't say anything.
Bro.
He just stood there staring at me with his big elongated eyes.
What are you looking at?
I noticed he had red stains on his costume, which I assumed to be pizza stains.
Yeah, that's pizza sauce.
Then I noticed the stains had transferred onto the shoulder area
Pizza
of my
sauce.
shirt from the tap he did earlier.
Relax.
I now knew that these were definitely not pizza stains.
Why not?
They had to be blood stains of some sort. Chucky? Is she gone? Yeah, she is. Here, take my hand, Danny. I missed you, Dad. I missed you too, son.
What? Yo! Yo! Bro, can we get a freeze frame on the mom? Happened with this next one, but my camera was off even though I looked at it multiple times and it said it was on. So for the first half of this animation, just gonna have to look at this picture of me in the corner, and yeah, sorry about that. This next one is called A Horrifying Dark Web Horror Story, and it was uploaded by Horror Shorts Party. Let's get. Now this was sent to us by Tall Flipkick, who said, "Hey man, just binge all 40 of your Spooky Scary Sunday. Sheesh. Just to see what shorts I could send in the future, although I'm still looking. Here's another horror shorts." So first of all, Tall Flipkick, you're amazing. You just binged 40 episodes, averaging around 30 minutes a piece. That's like 1,200 minutes, ain't it? Give me a second. It chokes me up. Like y'all really out here love me like that. But in all seriousness, that means so much to me. Just all of you guys, just watching all the episodes and stuff. Like, it's crazy to think at one point I had 0 subscribers. You really can do anything if you try. Let's get it. Now, who narrating today? Who's narrating? Oh no, she said your boy Terrence. Deep Web Series 2. Woo! Terrence Nicholson and Harriet. Let's get it. Ooh.
This story happened when my
The Grinch. Oh, y'all remember this one?
girlfriend Lindsay resided in Tokyo, Japan for her teaching abroad occupation.
That's what's up.
She taught English to foreigners for a fairly decent pay.
Okay.
I personally wasn't too cultivated by the idea, as the thought of Lindsay being in a foreign country by herself really stressed me out.
I can't wait for you to fly over.
Yeah, me too, babe. Hey, can you please make sure your doors are locked?
I already locked it, silly. Stop being so paranoid.
I know I'm being paranoid. I just
love you.
I just want you to be safe, okay?
Hey.
Don't worry, I am.
Being away from Lindsay definitely took a toll on my health, as I would constantly get anxious from worrying about her safety. Knowing that I didn't have the capability of protecting her from any unlawful perpetrators always gave me extreme anxiety. Which is why my doctor prescribed an inhaler for me to use every time I felt the symptoms get out of hand.
Okay.
I didn't do too well with long-distance relationships, but I really wanted to support Lindsay in her career endeavors.
Bet.
I'd fly over there on occasion, usually around the holidays when work wasn't so strenuous for the both of us.
Okay.
I remember spending the majority of my time watching the rather odd Japanese game shows while Lindsay and her roommate Saki would do after-hours work from home.
Lindsay and her roommate Saki. After hours work? What y'all think after hours work is?
While Lindsay and her roommate Saki would do after-hours work from home. Staying in Japan was quite the culture shock. I wasn't used to the Eastern lifestyle, but the longer I stayed there, the more accustomed I became. Or I should say, the more comfortable I felt with Lindsay's stay there. Being halfway across the world made me adjust my sleeping schedule as I made it my duty to video chat Lindsay every day at exactly 3 a.m. in the morning. 3 a.m. over here was equivalent to 5 p.m. over there according to the time zone difference.
Dang.
I'd make it a routine to catch Lindsay after her work shift was done, even if that cost me a few hours of sleep. You guys doing anything for Halloween?
Yup, Saki and I are probably going bar hopping.
That sounds nice. I wish I could be there
Babe, we'll talk later. Saki's calling me.
Seeing that Lindsay...
See, I had my suspicions at first. They have been confirmed. I woke up at 3 a.m. to talk to you. Saki is your roommate. You gon'
had a roommate to acquaint herself with gave me a little peace of mind. A lot of my friends were well aware of how concerned I was about Lindsay's well-being. So much so that they would message me encouraging words to help
Got my merch if you want to drip.
cheer me up. But all of that changed one night when I got a message from one of my close colleagues from school. I opened the message and read, "Hey Craig, I know you're concerned about Lindsay, so I thought you..."
Look at all these Easter eggs. We got Daniel from the Russian roulette online a year ago. We know what happened to him, why he not getting back online.
The message and read, "Hey Craig, I know you're concerned about Lindsay, so I thought you might want to check this link out." It was a link to a forum titled, "Is Teaching Abroad in Japan Safe?" I hesitantly clicked the link, only to see the forum containing a large thread of positive comments saying stuff like, "Teaching there was a great experience, highly recommended," or "Once you go Japan, you'll never need another plan."
They really
I
thought
then
they
came
was doing
across a
something with
user
that
that
comment.
posted a comment saying, "For those who are considering being a tutor in Japan, you might want to watch this first before you fully commit." With a link right next to it. I felt extremely skeptical clicking the link, but my curiosity was too overbearing to withstand my compulsion, so I clicked it. I then saw a low-grade video of a woman with her hands bound to the ceiling while being completely wrapped in duct tape. The woman was also wearing a plain white mask over her face with the word dog written on it. What? I couldn't tell if this was a joke or some sort of sick snuff film until I saw a man approaching the woman holding a large machete. I could hear this poor lady screaming in agony as he began to shout, "What is your name?"
Please, sir, please just let me go. Please just let me go.
What is your name?
My name is Kathy. Please don't hurt me.
Wrong answer. Your name is Dog.
Oh!
That's when I exited my web browser and instinctively video called Lindsay. It was about 3:15, the time I usually video called her. Oh, why now? Come on, answer the video call, damn it! I assumed she was still at work, or possibly out with the roommates, so I waited patiently for a return call at her convenience. I decided to stroll around Instagram for another hour or so till it was time to call it a night. I noticed Lindsay had posted a few pictures from the Halloween night out she had a couple days ago. It looked like a huge costume festival of some sort on the streets of Japan. That's when I spotted a shocking revelation in each of the photos presented.
What?
I saw a man wearing the same god mask as in the snuff film I'd seen earlier, nonchalantly masquerading in the background of the photos. He was in every photo looking towards the direction of where the picture was being taken. Or should I say, the direction of where my girlfriend and her roommate were.
Wow. They didn't notice that?
That's when I get a video call from Lindsay.
Hurry.
I unnervingly accept it and see what seemed to be Lindsay and her roommate Saki wearing white masks with the words Dog 1 and Dog 2 written on them. Hey, why the hell are you guys wearing that? I want to play a game. Guys, who the hell is that? They both stood there silent looking at the webcam, almost like my words didn't have any significant purpose to them. I then heard the man in the background saying, "Transfer $20,000 to Dog 2's PayPal account right now, or else they both die." What the hell is going on? Please, leave them alone or I'll call...
Sir, I have $19.12 in my checking account.
Or else they both die. What the hell is going on? Please, leave them alone or I'll call the cops! So be it. Dog 2, take out Dog 1, now!
Please don't make me do this.
Do it! Dog 2, take out Dog 1 now or else you're both getting taken out!
Oh my gosh!
Do it, Dog 2! Take out Dog 1 right now or else I'm taking you both out!
Please.
That's when Lindsay raises a large kitchen blade in the air and stabs Saki in the neck. I can hear her gargling her own blood while struggling to gasp for what seemed to be her last remaining breaths on Earth. Dude, please stop this. I'm begging you. I'll do anything you want. Just please don't hurt my girlfriend. That's when the voice in the background revealed himself, only to unveil the same man wearing the god mask that I'd seen in the snuff film and Instagram photos earlier. He then grabbed Lindsay by the forehead and raised a huge machete in the air, saying, "Transfer the money or else this dog gets put down too." Dude, please, I'm transferring the money right now. That's when I grabbed my phone and immediately began to transfer $20,000.
Dang, you got it like that?
Here, look, I transferred $20,000. Now, please, can you let her go? I did everything you wanted. The man then approached the camera up close and began saying, "I'm just a guy trying to survive in this cold, cold world. I just do what I have to do to put food on my family's table, you know? Just know that
Really?
God has nothing to do with this." What the hell? I began a request for another video chat, but there was no answer.
Please let her
That's
go.
when I get 2 messages from Lindsay's account. I click the chat box and see an image of Lindsay's severed head on top of the computer desk. The other image was a meme face with the caption, "Gotcha."
This next one is called True Deep Web Horror Story, and it's by our boy, the legend, Horror Shorts Party. Now, this one was sent to us by Anna, who said, "Hey, Cory, just want to welcome you back to YouTube and congrats to 10 mil. Anyway, here's a video narrated by none other than the man, Terrence Nicholson." Yo, this is about to be hype. Y'all know Terrence Nicholson. Y'all already know him. Show it to me. Oh, shoot. Upgrades? Hold on. It's like a robot, bro. Prequel. Y'all remember that one? Y'all remember these? Yo. Terrence Nicholson! And Ariane. She's awesome too.
This is a story that took place back when I was living with my ex-girlfriend Jasmine.
Tell me what happened.
I had recently moved from my parents' house and into an apartment complex where it was surprisingly quieter compared to the suburban area I was used to.
Okay.
Jasmine and I were both college graduates who worked full-time in our respective fields of study. I was in the construction business as I was always a blue-collar...
We know you the same guy from Snapchat. You're not slick.
As I was always a blue-collar kind of guy who enjoyed hands-on work revolving around the trades industry. Jasmine was a financial advisor, so she usually got to work from home while I had the usual 9 to 5 that I've become accustomed to for the latter part of my life.
Okay.
On my off time, I would usually hang out with Jasmine at our local park, or simply kick back and binge watch several shows on Netflix till I had completely passed out.
Hey.
Going to our local park around the evening time became a daily occurrence of ours, as rowing back and forth on the swings was Jasmine's way of de-stressing just before the very next day at work. This became a daily routine of ours since we moved into the new neighborhood.
Frick are you doing here?
Feel more comfortable within our new whereabouts.
Hate that dude.
Well, at least with the exception of Saturday nights, when I usually video called 3 close friends of mine from where I originally resided. Their names were Joe, Max, and Steve. This was a way I could stay connected with my friends, as I didn't want to tarnish my friendships with them, nor did I want to be known as the odd friend who cuts people off because he was quote-unquote whipped.
Hey Rick, how's your stay over there?
Must be good getting some action without your parents in the next room.
No comment.
Hey boys, we gonna keep talking about Ricky's love life, or we gonna get this party started? Cheers to that, Stevie boy.
Dang, what's the rush? We have all night, dude.
Alright, who wants to go first?
This was how me and my friends socially interacted with one another.
What are y'all doing?
We shared our personal scary stories and videos from around the internet that would be categorized within the horror genre. My friends and I have been horror addicts since childhood, so geeking over anything horror-related was equivalent to our summer camp days back when we were still in elementary school.
Okay.
I didn't want to abruptly end the so-called tradition we had established despite living miles away from them, so I would make sure I video called them every so often.
Okay.
I recall dozing off from the lackluster stories being shared by my 2 friends Joe and Max, until it was Steve's turn to share his story.
You guys ever been on the dark web?
No, not me.
Stop right there.
Not me.
People get
Dude,
kidnapped
don't tell
on
me
there.
you actually went on it.
I personally didn't, but my
Good.
younger brother did. He recently showed me this
You did
weird
too.
snuff film the other day that I thought you guys might like.
I personally felt intrigued by the idea, as I didn't know or see much content regarding the dark web.
You know what a snuff
All
film
I knew
is?
was that it was a hidden browser that sold illegal products you would find on the street,
And
except
people.
everything was online, or at least on the dark side of the internet. That's when Steve extemporaneously invites his younger brother in his room and introduces him.
Hey boys, say hi to my brother Eric.
What up, dude?
What's up, Eric?
You guys want to see something cool?
No.
Hell yeah.
Box chin.
Sure, dude. This better be good, or else I want 5 minutes of my life back.
Eric shares his screen and opens up a video from an array of MP4 files shown on a folder. I then saw a low-quality video of a woman
No, is that the girl? Because y'all know Horror Shorts Party's animations are like all connected. Wait, was she from OnlyFans too? No, I think that's the girl that was like a singer at the bar, maybe? Either way, we know who that is.
suspended in midair with her arms and feet attached with steel chains. She was oriented in this awkward bird-like position, almost like her perpetrator had no intentions of providing any circulation to the woman's extremities.
Oh my God.
I could see this poor lady desperately wailing through the duct tape on her mouth while hopelessly trying to free herself by vigorously shaking her arms and legs.
Bro.
I remember gasping in awe,
Look at
as
him.
I didn't know if this was some sort of weird hoax.
Maybe you
or if
shouldn't
this
be
was
on
a
there.
legitimate snuff film about to unfold. That's when I heard a loud sound abruptly come from the background, like someone was revving an engine to a motor of something.
A
I
chainsaw,
then
maybe?
saw a large man approaching the woman while wearing a pig mask and holding a running chainsaw in a barbaric fashion. It looked like some psycho wanting to Renaissance Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, based on the way he held the chainsaw and the attire he presented himself in.
You're my lucky number 20. You know that? I never thought I'd reach this milestone. You know? All that hard labor just to get to you. Do you even know what you put me through? Huh?
Oh my God!
People watching at home, how much you appreciate my hard work.
Maybe this isn't the girl from the bar.
Say it!
I got tape in my mouth!
You're going to be the best doll I've ever had.
She's
You
still saying it!
Rick, what the hell is going on?
Babe, listen. Turn it. You know when you try to X something out real quick? Babe, hold on. Start clicking real fast. Babe, hold on. Let me X this out. Babe, hey. How you doing, girl? Looking cute tonight. How you doing?
But babe, I heard screaming.
Yeah, this got dark real fast.
Jasmine, get out! I don't want you seeing this!
Bro, he didn't even try to exit out.
Pierce the chainsaw into the woman's arms and legs as each limb dropped from her torso and was left dangling from each chain. No. This can't be real.
Nah,
what kind of
too
sick
late.
person would do this to someone? I remember feeling the sensation of a trickle of blood running down my nostrils as I see my friends visibly shaken up by the footage.
Whoa!
The woman had all 4 of her limbs dissected by the chainsaw as she eventually collapsed on the floor and began having a seizure. I abruptly end the video call.
Maybe that is the bar lady.
Anymore. I decided to message my friends through a group chat saying that I was throwing in the towel and heading to bed. Trying to comprehend what had just occurred was almost impossible.
Look at this man.
I couldn't help but tremble in the same spot for about several minutes. I eventually end up crawling into bed and laying next to Jasmine while trying to force myself to sleep and not think about what transpired on that video
Watch
chat.
the whole snuff film.
This is when the story gets more disturbing.
What?
Fast forward about 2 years. My life has taken a drastic turn for the worst.
What?
My girlfriend and I mutually agreed to separate while my dad passed away at the age of 45 due to heart failure, leaving my mother and 3 children, including myself, alone.
That's sad.
I never felt so depressed in my life. I would sometimes spontaneously cry at work while trying to hide my emotions from the other employees. It honestly felt like the days were getting longer and my weekends were getting shorter as time went on. I couldn't help but think that that video was some kind of curse. I remember being at the stage where I had completely isolated myself from everyone around me, including my close relatives. I eventually developed an obsession over the dark web and installed a Tor browser on my laptop. I wanted to climb further in the rabbit hole. I wanted to see if I could discover anything related to the pigman or the woman he had mutilated that night. I recall surfing the hidden wiki only to come across
Michael Jackson's breath in a bottle,
weapons, illegal services, and narcotics. I obviously wasn't interested in such things, so I began browsing some more. After 2 hours of intense searching, I found similar style images of females having their extremities amputated and then being sold as so-called dolls.
Welcome to the game. Y'all remember that? Oh, my eyes about to start watering, bro. That junk is so real!
I came across an MP4 file on the homepage of one of the links on the hidden wiki. I pressed play and saw a video of a woman swinging back and forth on a swing with a paper mask on her face. This honestly looked like the same setting as the previous video. I then saw the same large man approach her as he kicked the poor lady off of the swing and began yelling, "Bark for me! Now walk, doll!" That's when the amputated woman began walking on all fours as if she was a stray dog or something. As the pigman got closer to the camera, I could see he was wearing what looked like the skin face of an actual human. What makes the story more disturbing was how similar the skin mask looked in comparison to Jasmine's face. From the identical face to the skin complexion to the swing, all the pieces were starting to add up as I genuinely believed this woman could potentially be my ex-girlfriend Jasmine.
No way.
I then Googled Jasmine's name, only to find her in a missing persons report. Several months later, my speculation would finally come to a halting stop as Jasmine's body was found in a black garbage bag, located in a dumpster outside a meat market. At the time that this occurred, Jasmine was found unresponsive and in critical condition. She was eventually taken to the hospital and miraculously survived her injuries. About a year or 2 after her recovery, she was given a formal unpublished interview, but it was reported that she had suffered from severe Stockholm Syndrome. This is what it looked like.
Today is currently Wednesday the 21st.
Why they have her on camera like that? You mean to tell me after a year and a half of surgeries, that's what she still looks like?
The time is approximately 3 p.m. in the afternoon. We are here with Jasmine, who will briefly answer questions based on her current health and share her story. Now, Jasmine, if you feel uncomfortable at all during the interview, feel free to let us know and we'll take a break, okay?
I want to return home to Master's Swing, where the world is divine and the dolls are beautiful.
So, first and foremost, how is your health today?
I want to return home to Master's Swing, where the world is divine and the dolls are beautiful.
Jasmine, how would you describe your experience while
talking to
being
her.
held in captivity?
I want to return home to Master Swing, where the world is divine and the dolls are beautiful.
Can you describe your captor's appearance?
Why are you still talking to her?
Jasmine, are you okay? Do you need some water?
To Master Swing, where the world is divine and the dolls are beautiful. I want to return home to Master Swing, where the world is divine and the dolls are beautiful.
Can you please tell us what his name
Master
is?
Swing, where the world is divine and the dolls are beautiful. I want to return home to Master
Jasmine,
Swing.
please,
where the
disclose
world is
your
divine
captor's
and
name
the
to
dolls
us.
Are beautiful. I want to return home to Master Swing.
Tell us his
where
name,
the
damn
world
it.
is divine
Oh my-
and the dolls are beautiful.
Tell
I
us
want
his
to return
name.
home
Oh my
to Master
God.
Swing, where the world is divine.
What is
and the
your
dolls are
master's
beautiful.
name?
His name is Pigman.
Yo, that junk got crazy. Well, shout out to Ariane, first of all. She killed that. You know, my dude Terrence came through. What is his name?
What is your master's name?
This next one is called 4 True OnlyFans Horror Stories. And this was uploaded by the legend Horror Shorts Party. Now this was sent to us by Lovemere, who said, I want a neutral grain bar, react to the first one, I got instant chills. You don't even gotta tell me. I'm dropping these off like you do your kids at school. Here you go. Open your mouth up. Here we go. We in here. Horror Shorts Party. We in here. OnlyFans.
I was in my early 20s and was unfortunately unemployed. The stress of not having a job while living with the obligation of having student loans, in addition to the monthly payments for my student housing, always weighed heavy on my shoulders.
I got you.
I was a student majoring within the medical field, so the majority of my time was delegated to schoolwork and applying for jobs online, as I was living off the funds I made from my last retail job. The quality of my life at this time was both extremely stressful and depressing, as I would literally live off eating crackers and cheap instant noodle packs.
Girl, come see this. They got a ramen noodle exhibit. You know that's your favorite. Be careful, children. That's a lot of
I
sodium.
would even go as far as to sleep hungry sometimes, just to save every last dollar.
Hey, that's the grind though. Hey, everybody started like this. Well, not everybody. Most people start like this though. Now, back in my day, when it was my turn to go through the trials and tribulations, there was no OnlyFans. Now, would I have done it? I might have, put a couple toes on there, nothing crazy. No, I'm just kidding.
Possible to help pay for my rent and school funds. I remember staying up late one night.
Whoa, is that the same human being?
I had a biology exam coming up within a few days. I could recall being overwhelmed from the monotonous material I was drilling into my head when I heard a loud knock on my door.
Dang!
Sarah, can you answer the door? It's Charlie. Hello? I know you're in there. I heard you watching TV 5 minutes ago.
Yes? What do you want, Charlie?
I need to talk to you. Can you please answer the door?
No. Why did you open the door?
Hey, Sarah. You know your rent is due, right?
Okay, landlord.
I'll get it to you by tomorrow. I've just been a little flustered with school.
Don't worry. You can give it to me tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Charlie. You're a lifesaver.
To make it easier on you, I do take other forms of payment. You know.
Me Too movement. Me Too movement. Run it back, Turbo. Getting him up out of here. I do accept other forms of payment.
What do you mean by that?
What are you talking about? Huh? Oh, you think just because I'm a female, you gonna extract some other form of payment? Wait.
You right?
I'll get it to you by tomorrow. I've just been a little flustered with school.
Don't worry. You can give it to me tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Charlie. You're a lifesaver.
To make it easier on you, I do take other forms of payment, you know.
What you talking about?
I'm good. I'll just pay you tomorrow.
What's wrong, Sarah? I'm just trying to help a pretty little girl like you out. Don't you want my help? Don't worry. It'll only take 5 minutes tops. We'll act like nothing ever happened.
I'm clutching my pearls right now. Women, I am so... Let me apologize on the behalf of men. First of all, we don't claim men like this, all right? If y'all have ever had to deal with something like this, I am so sorry. Imagining my child having to deal with something like this. I'm like, hey, You always want to approach confrontations so calm, because it disarms them once you turn up. Like, hey, so my daughter, she told me that you offered other forms of payment for the rent. Yeah, she was saying something about you said it was gonna take 5 minutes.
Yeah, the only thing is you want to be dead in the next 5 minutes, boy. Oh, what's that? Oh, you can't breathe? Oh! Well, here, why don't I give you 5 minutes, and if you survive that, I'll let you go. How about that?
Girl like you out. Don't you want my help? Don't worry, it'll only take 5 minutes tops. We'll act like nothing ever happened.
Wow.
Imagine not having to worry of paying a single bill again, Sarah, for just a measly 5 minutes of your time. Did I ever tell you that you look just as beautiful as my daughter?
I said I'm good.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
How are you gonna make mention and compare somebody that you're trying to sleep with to your daughter?
You better pay me tomorrow, you little brat, or else you can get the hell out of my property.
Wow.
I've always had unsettling vibes from my landlord the day I moved in here, but unfortunately couldn't really do much, as the housing market for students around the area were either occupied or way over my budget. As busy as I was with school, I was always a social butterfly at heart, and had a pretty decent following on my social media. I unfortunately didn't make any money online, but I did have about a couple hundred fans in my DMs and comment section, asking if I had an OnlyFans. I, of course, didn't own one, as I was always hesitant in encountering weirdos within the online world.
Right.
I really didn't want to run into the risk of being recognized by any school colleagues or relatives for that matter, considering the internet was a large place where anything could be shared or screen recorded nowadays.
Yes.
At the time that this occurred, I was extremely eager to make any form of income without having to deal with the hassle of working a regular job, which is why I ultimately decided to sign up for an OnlyFans account.
Another one bites the dust.
I decided to take a couple of provocative selfies of myself while wearing some outfits that I thought would be appealing to the rather large male audience I had accumulated through my years on social media.
AKA simps.
I even went as far to take self-portraits of myself in bed, using a professional camera I had owned. I remember uploading the catalog of images on my profile while promoting it on my Instagram story, just to see if there was going to be any first-time buyers willing to see the other side of me. I made sure to hide the stories from my close relatives, especially my mother, as I didn't want them knowing I wanted to explore the mature side of myself,
They're gonna find
and that
it.
I wasn't solely depending on making a living using OnlyFans. I can recall it not even being 5 minutes yet, when I noticed a notification on OnlyFans. I then refreshed my homepage, only to see that I got my first paid subscriber.
5 minutes?
If I had to be honest, I was quite thrilled at the notion that anyone would be interested in me, or should I say my looks. I remember the user then sending a message saying, "Hey beautiful, happy to be your first OnlyFans sub." I typed,
Thank you. Let me know if you'd like to see more.
The user then playfully
he is.
requested for several provocative pictures of myself wearing lingerie. I felt a little uncomfortable hearing such a request, but I knew in the back of my head that this was going to take some getting used to, especially if I wanted to pursue a potential career on OnlyFans. Regardless of who this person was, I decided to take the requested pictures in front of a mirror using my cell phone. I then uploaded the images onto my laptop and charged the man a lump sum of $50 per photo. The man then responded, "I want to be your one and only customer forever."
Huh?
I obviously found this a bit alarming, but casually brushed it off by telling the user I was going to go study and that I was going to catch him later. I then made my way to the kitchen to make some instant noodles, while resuming the dreadful exam preparation I had procrastinated on since the beginning of the day. I remember studying for at least a good 2 hours straight before calling it a night. I then headed back to my bedroom, only to notice my laptop was still open, and wanted to see if there was any further activity with my OnlyFans account. That's when I saw at least 100 unread messages coming from the same user that I had interacted with earlier. The messages varied from things like, "Where are you?" to, "Hello? I've been waiting for you for hours now."
Look at the last one. Y'all suckers want to make an OnlyFans? Get ready for that lifestyle that you signed up for. Get ready.
To really aggressive messages like, "Answer me, ho."
Dang,
This left
I'm
me
a garden
completely
tool now?
dumbfounded, as the user then seemed apologetic towards the end of the messages, as if he suffered from bipolar disorder.
Nah, you're blocked.
I honestly contemplated on blocking this guy, but as I scrolled through the messages, I noticed one of them offering to pay me $100 if I sent a video of myself crying on camera. I couldn't tell if this guy was joking or if it was some sort of sick f*** of his, but I decided to oblige as I really needed the money. I began to screen record a video of myself using my webcam, and began to force myself to cry by thinking of sad things like the death of my grandmother or the divorce of my parents.
You drag your
and how my dad
grandmother
left
into
my
this?
mom hanging to be a deadbeat dad. I eventually stopped the filming and sent the video to the user for a price tag of $100. About 5 seconds later, the user immediately sends another odd request, as if he disregarded my last video and was craving for more. The message read, "Can you stick your finger down your throat and vomit in a bucket? I'll pay you another $100.
What the hell? What a freaking weirdo.
This seemed extremely
No!
off-putting, but I felt as if
You're
I was
part of
obliged
this!
to do so, considering I was an extremely broke student and needed any kind of funds I could get my hands on.
You about to do it?
I decided to grab a large bowl from my...
I beg your pardon? I beg your pardon. The audacity of this woman to call him a weirdo and then go look for her bucket. I mean, bowl. What a weirdo. Okay. Pause on all of that. Whoa. Pause on everything that I just did. Matter of fact, I might censor that. Y'all not about to put that in no fan edits, nah.
kitchen cabinet while contemplating my conscious decision to do such a thing. As I sat in front of my laptop, I held the bowl with one hand and stuck my index finger down my throat with the other,
are nasty,
while simultaneously trying to regurgitate
This is the craziest one ever. I told y'all to get snacks, y'all eating, and then this girl. Ariane, did you do the sound effects for this? Hit us with that.
my throat with the other, while simultaneously trying to regurgitate the instant noodles I had just eaten. I then sent the user the video with a price tag of $100. Again, the user instantly replies in a matter of seconds with another odd request. His message read, "Cut a handful of your hair off using a knife, and I'll pay you $200. I felt pretty hesitant at first, but as I digested the odd request, I thought it would be an easy $200,
This girl will do anything.
considering how I always wanted to get a haircut anyway. I responded with a stern, sure, BRB, as I went into the kitchen to grab a knife from one of the kitchen drawers. As I stared into the reflection of the blade, I began second-guessing myself, as the thought of sadistically tearing my hair off with a blade seemed very inhumane.
Now you're trying to draw lines? Second, let me tell you about what's about to happen with them other videos you just sent. He's about to download those videos, okay, that he paid $100 for, re-upload them. All across the internet is going to be video of you throwing up into a bowl and crying for $200.
Fortunately allowed my stupidity to completely overcloud my judgment, as I ended up biting on a piece of cloth while raising my hair with one hand, and then slowly cutting it off with the knife on my other hand. I remember trying my best not to make too much noise from my repugnant decisions, as the sheer distress from the back and forth carving of my hair left my scalp throbbing in an excruciating manner.
Why'd you do it
I then
that
shouted,
way?
There's your stupid video, you sick freak. You happy now? Huh?
as I gestured a hand at my detached hair. That's when the user immediately responds with another sadistic request, saying, "Now, cut your finger off for another $200.
Nah, knowing her, nah, she gonna try to get mad now. Nah, she gonna be like, $200. Do I really need all 5?
Immediately dismissed the user using profanities and vulgar language, basically telling him to go F himself, as I simultaneously block his account. I then went into the washroom and began to sit in the bathtub to reflect on my bizarre decisions and what possessed me to do such a thing.
Loony.
I could then hear my phone vibrating on the bathroom sink several times from the notifications set on my phone. As I got out of the shower, I checked my phone, only to see the notifications were from a user with the same profile name on Instagram.
Oh, you're donezo.
I could tell that the user was obviously a stalker, as he had no followers, but was following at least a couple hundred others. I then opened the user's messages, only to see screenshots and video footage of what transpired within our OnlyFans interaction.
Oh, what did I say?
As I scrolled up, I noticed a lengthy message from the user asking me to bring a knife to an undisclosed location if I didn't want him to send this to anyone else, almost like I was getting taunted and blackmailed at the same time.
Yeah.
I ended up accepting the user's messages and replying with a firm,
I'm gonna sue you if you don't delete those images and videos.
He then responds with an image of my mother's Instagram and
What?
says, "Is this your mom's Instagram?" I then reply with,
What the f***? Don't do it! I'm begging you!
"Go to the park now."
Okay, fine, you win. I'm leaving right now, you freak!
That's when I tucked the knife underneath the band of my leggings and began to walk towards the park. I then texted the user for further instructions as I surveyed my surroundings at the park, only to see a homeless-looking individual laying on a bench. That's when I get another text from the user saying, "Since you didn't want to cut your finger off, cut his, and I'll leave you alone." I then pulled out the knife and began to approach the homeless man, as I could see he was completely passed out drunk from the empty alcohol bottle laying next to the bench he was sleeping on. As I cautiously approached the man, I began to elevate his pinky in midair with one hand, while raising the knife with my other hand. I then swung the knife in one quick motion. That's when I ran back towards the main road as the man screamed in agony. I eventually made it back to my place and began panting in distress and exhaustion, without making it obvious to the other individuals in the household that I had initially stepped out. I then abruptly got a call on my cell phone. I was a little hesitant to answer the phone, considering I had not given out any personal information to the user.
Oh my.
As I pull out my phone, I can see that the call was surprisingly coming from my mom.
Did she get the
I
video?
answered the phone and said,
Hello?
What the hell is wrong with you, Sarah? Why would you do that? Why? Have you freaking lost your damn mind? You're all over the damn internet!
Guys, I hope you learned a valuable lesson today. Guys, this next one is called 3 True Hooters.
You wanna try that again, moron?
Alright, you guys, this next one is called 3 True Hooters Horror Stories Animated. And it was uploaded by Horror Shorts Party. Now, this was sent to us by Steph over on Twitter, who said, "Here you go, Shogun. I hope you had a good 25 part 4 birthday. Second story in the video caught me off guard. Terrence Nicholson!" But of course, Ariane coming through with support. You already know how they do. Let's go.
About several years ago, I used to work at an engineering firm where I would get carpal tunnel from typing on the keyboard all day.
Uh-oh.
It was currently a Friday, so I figured I'd treat myself to a beer after my shift was done. Figured I could get hammered for a change, instead of heading home to an empty house with no female companionship. During my lunch...
That literally made my camera die. What kind of existence is this? I come home, no female companionship at the crib? Just me and this whack Xbox?
I remember Googling any nearby pub and bar to go to.
Watch HSB.
I came across a Hooters that was located about 15 minutes away by vehicle. I had previously been to many Hooters in the past and always found it quite charming to say the least. If I had to describe it, I would say it was like your ordinary sports bar, accompanied by some of the finest girls who wore their distinctive Hooters attire, of course with the orange shorts. Like I said before.
Of course, with them orange shorts. I've never eaten at Hooters, but I'm sure it's a hoot. 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 I'm sure it's a hoot.
I had been to many Hooters venues in the past, so going to this new location was really refreshing. As I made my arrival, it was roughly evening time, which meant that the place was probably hoarded with customers. I pushed open the front doors and saw exactly what I had anticipated. A bunch of attractive Hooters waitresses.
We've seen that person before.
And a bunch of men flirting with them who were old enough to be the girls' fathers. I made my way across the bar, while slowly glancing at the array of bottles behind this attractive bartender. I casually leaned against the bar as she approaches me saying,
"What you drinking today, big guy?"
"Rum and Coke, please." The waitress then begins whipping up the concoction while staring across the bar at someone. At first, I couldn't tell exactly what she was looking at. But then I saw a rather large gentleman sitting at a table alone, making direct eye contact with her. If I had to describe the man, I would say he was in his late 40s and had a beer gut hanging onto his lap. I assumed he was just some creep who had a crush on the bartender. As the Hooters lady began serving my drink, I nosily asked,
"They're working together." He gives her cues to whose drink to, I don't know, roofie?
He began serving my drink. I nosily asked her, "Hey, is everything okay?"
Not really. That weirdo across the room keeps looking at me.
He's probably just a big fan of your drinks.
Yeah. Not to mention, there's been a rumor circulating around town. Hooters girls have gone missing.
What? Are you freaking kidding me?
Oh my gosh! Tell me why, as soon as I was about to vocalize, "Hey guys, that guy's gone."
Hey, make me a beer, lady.
Get someone else to do it. I'm about to clock out, pal.
Make me a beer, or else I'm telling your boss your shorts are tight enough to see you. Leave her alone now!
About 5 minutes after that bizarre encounter, I felt obligated to escort the lady outside the parking lot, and even went as far as to offer her a lift. The lady took me up on my offer.
Like, he literally just met. This is a stand-up guy, bro.
Leave her alone now!
She wanted to avoid further confrontation.
That guy.
With any creeps
I've seen him before.
Night. As I drove down the street, I began striking up a decent conversation with the lady. Everything was pretty swell.
She let him take her home?
So, where are you heading after?
What do you mean?
Like, after you drop me off. Are you heading home?
Who says you're heading home?
What?
You know, you should really be more careful before getting into a stranger's car. After all, Hooters waitresses have been disappearing, haven't they?
No, stop! Somebody help me!
And that's why Horror Shorts Party is the go. I'm thinking like, bro, I know this guy just defended you, but you don't get in his car that quick. Look at his face right here.
After all, Hooters waitresses have been disappearing, haven't they?
Somebody ever hit you with one of these faces? Evade.